Lumbar disc bulge, lumbar disc herniation. These are conditions that we see often as a chiropractor. In fact, some of the best way to take care of yourself from having lumbar disc bulge and lumbar disc herniations are preventatively. Okay, today we're going to go over some exercises that hopefully will help you to prevent lumbar disc bulge and lumbar disc herniation. Hi, I'm Dr. Ongko.
I'm Dr. Pacis.
And we're both chiropractors right here in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So today we're going to go over some exercises, right, to help prevent lumbar disc herniation. Now, how often do you see a lumbar disc bulge or a lumbar disc herniation among some new patients per se?
Oh, it's a very common problem that presents into our office. Probably on a weekly basis, I see maybe one or two coming in.
Yeah, and in fact, I've known of several chiropractors themselves that actually have lumbar disc bulge and lumbar disc herniation. So it's a very important topic. It's something that hits a lot of different people. So I want to make sure that we share some of the exercises that we do ourselves that will hopefully help enhance your spinal health.
In our last video, if you go right over here, you'll see that we gave you some exercises to help with pain relief. But today we're going to talk about prevention, because prevention is key. But don't forget to like our videos, subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell as well, so that you're the first ones to know when we have our new videos.
The first exercise is called leg extension. It's a very simple exercise that everybody should be able to do. Now remember that you need to make sure that you do this comfortably. So if anything that is causing you pain or anything that's aggravating your lumbar disc herniation and lumbar disc bulge symptoms, be sure to stop and consult with your healthcare providers, right? So the first thing to do is perhaps have something to hold on to, whether it be the wall or a chair, okay? So let's try the left leg, the left glutes first. The most important part is to make sure that you're actually lifting it up, you're holding it there, right? And hold it for about 10 seconds. While you're doing it, you want to make sure that you have good posture, you're not tilting your body forward, and the only thing that you're really squeezing is right in this area here for about 10 seconds, and then you just let it down. And you of course would do it alternatingly on the opposite side as well. Now, the next movement, which is a progression from that exercise, is to use the band. Okay, so you can use a post, you can use something at home that will actually hold this band together. I've just kind of worked a way to do it here in this room, right? So you just hook it underneath the door, and then from here, just hook it underneath your feet. Okay, and from here, pull down tight, and then extend back. Okay, again, you can hold it for, you can start with 5 seconds if that's comfortable for you, and then eventually you want to hold it up to 10 seconds. One thing to keep in mind for the leg extension exercise, make sure that you're keeping everything tight, okay, when you're actually doing this. So you're not going to be doing it with just a nice loose belly here. You're going to keep everything nice and tight as if somebody is about to punch you in the tummy, right? And then as you're doing so, the only thing that's really contracting is right in the glutes. You're not overextending it. This is not about lifting it up as high as possible. This is just about lifting it up comfortably. You're not over-exaggerating the curvature, okay, notice that? And you're just squeezing it really as tight as possible. And then letting it down after the time limit. So the next exercise is the glute bridge. For the glute bridge, what you want to do is you want to basically put your hands onto the floor, right? You can also, if you want to make it a little bit tougher, just put it on your belly. But generally to start with, especially with lumbar disc bulge and lumbar disc herniation, you want to be very careful with this, right? So you're going to plant your feet just like so, and then you're just going to lift your hip up. As you're doing so, keep everything nice and tight, right? And hold it there. Again, 5 to 10 seconds, let it down. Okay, and lift it up. Okay, everything is nice and stable as you're doing so. And let it down. Now the progression from there would be if you find that that's too easy for you, then you may want to use a bend. You can hold it down on your hip, right? And as you're doing so, you're just going to lift it up. That creates a good resistance. Hold it again, as long as you want, up to 10 seconds, and let it down. Okay, and the key here is that if there's anything that's painful and uncomfortable, you stop, right? And a progression from there would be to do it one leg at a time. With that, make sure that knee is straight, one is bent, and lift lift it up, hold it there, nice and stable, and slowly down. You can always use the resistance band as an extra resistance for your bridge, okay? The single leg bridge. Again. And slowly down. Okay? So the whole idea is to isolate the glute muscles, keep it nice and strong, so that when you're actually getting up and down, you're actually engaging those muscles much more closely instead of sacrificing your lower back.
So this next exercise is called the bird dog, and you'll see why when it comes to the actual movements. But for this one, what you're going to do is you're going to get onto all fours like this. Now, before we do any of the movements, you got to think of positioning the whole time. You essentially want to become what we call a tabletop. So imagine throughout this movement, you want this stability so that imagine there's a cup of water on your back that you're not going to shake so much that the water is going to fall down on the ground. Okay, so you want a lot of stability when you're doing this one. And a good way to have some stability is, again, to brace within here, right? And I'll show you what I mean when I go through the movements. So with this one, a key thing is that you do not want to feel too much pressure building up into your lower back. That's not the point of this exercise. So for this, what you're going to do is kick out like this, right? So that you're maintaining a stable back. And then you're going to punch out the opposite arm, all right? So with this, again, you're bracing into here to make sure you're not shaking so much when you're bringing your legs out here. So a lot of stability there. But again, all of your movements go into your extremities. So with the legs, you want to think of your heel kicking out. And then with your arm, you're punching it out so that you feel it pretty much down into your shoulders, even into your lat muscles on the side here, okay? And you're going to hold it out there anywhere from, start at 5 seconds, but you want to work your way up to 10 altogether, okay? So progression with this, I mean, some people can't hold it or hold this for too long, so you can come back and rest like this. But eventually what you want to be able to do is bring it out, sweep in, touch the knee, and then bring it back out again. All right, so remember kicking the heel and punching forward like that. All right, so typically what you do is about 3 repetitions, 4 repetitions on each side, but always go same side first, back in and out when you're doing your holds, and then move to the other side afterwards. So you can see again in the name of this, it's called bird dog because you're pushing out like a bird wing and then out like a dog in your leg here as well, okay? So a good way to add some resistance to this is actually using a band as well. So you're gonna have this hooked on your foot and you're gonna have it hooked to your thumb on the other side. And then what you're gonna do with this, again, maintaining as much stability as possible, is you're going to punch out and kick out with your heel as well. And you have some good resistance with that. Again, the premise of this is to hold, and you should feel it throughout your leg and then going down into your arm as well, not so much into your back.
So in our next video, we're going to actually do a follow along in real time as to how to do these exercises in sequence.
And again, before you go, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for future ones, and also turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to leave a comment with any questions you may have about anything that we talked about today. We'll see you in the next video.
And don't forget, a healthy spine is
a healthy life. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe and click the notification bell to see our weekly videos.
To learn more about how Wellness Chiropractic and the Active Family Chiropractic and Wellness Center can help you with your chronic pain problems, please visit www.wellnesschiropractor.com.
The Active Family Chiropractic and Wellness Center is located at 80 Queen Street South in Mississauga, Ontario, L5M1K4.